I would like to procure the bag.
I wanna be a rich bitch. Penthouse doorman, money, 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 rich bitch. Hey, give me that bag. Rich bitch.
Yes. You're so rich.
Pay me.
Great place to start.
Oh my God. Yes. For the people. Yeah.
For the people. Hi, David. Welcome to I Want to Be a Rich Bitch.
I want to be a rich bitch.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't we all sing it, girl?
We all do. And we're glad to have you. I haven't seen you since we were kikiing in New York City.
In January.
And it was The Last of Us, and we were so mean to people online. I love that.
It was so much fun. I told my friend, I was like, there are so many like TikTok stars in line who thought they were like the thing.
The thing.
And did not treat us well at all.
Oh no.
You know what's so funny? Maybe I'm delusional. I felt like they were fine. I felt like everyone was like fine.
Really?
I felt like I intimidated them.
I
felt like none of that.
There was one in particular. I was just like, girl, really?
Oh.
But it was
fine. Yeah, I think I came up being a bitch from day one. Like I'd come up and be like, oh, are you going to wear those shoes to run from the infected? That's how I started it. And then it was like, they were like, oh my God.
I mean, that's the best part about doing that immersive stuff. And God bless Meta, like for you, for all of that, because let me tell you how much fun we have doing those things. I wasn't there for that one, unfortunately, but that was, I think, my 4th or 5th gig with them. And it is that's how you and I officially met, Sarah. Like, we did American Horror Story the first time down in Meatpacking, and that's how we became friends. So like all 3 of us are meta for you people that just happened to like become friends because of it. I mean, not because of it.
And I have watched the show, David. You were gonna ask that. Yes.
Yeah. First of all, so good. Pedro Pascal is like my fashion, like my aesthetic. Do you know what I mean? Like to a point where I'm on the red carpets and things like that.
He's a mood. Yeah, he's a mood.
It is.
He's such a vibe.
I love the lean into the microphone. He's a mood.
He's a motherfucking mood.
A mood.
A mood.
Wait, not the baby voice. A mood.
Oh my God, he's a mood.
He's a mood. Oh my God, that sounded like the Rugrats. He's a mood.
Oh my God, Cynthia, he's a mood.
Yeah, totally.
Hire her for voiceovers. She's ready.
They do. Don't worry. But also hire me for more because I built my studio and it's ready to go.
It's beautiful.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Let's go.
David, how is your life going? I know we just spoke.
Yeah, I heard you guys,
how is your life
you guys
going?
cheated on me yesterday, so I just want to hear about what I missed.
Yeah, we'll debrief you on the update.
Yeah.
Well, let me just start with today, right? Today was a very unique day. I helped a friend with a video audition she had before the show, did the show, and it was a blue-haired show. And you know how those shows go, but they were with us, and so you want to give more and more and more and more. And then after the show, we had more to do because it was like there were more. It was a lot. They're up for a new Broadway show that's already on Broadway that is nominated for a bunch of Tonys this season. And so, we want to get it right, and so now I'm just like coming down from the show and doing all of that. And
see, now I'm super curious as to which one it is because I know who you're talking about, and I have a speculation of 2 different ones that it could be.
And I have no idea.
Yeah.
They are nominated for Tony.
I mean,
it's an original musical.
That doesn't narrow it down from what I was thinking. Oh wait, maybe it does. Original,
and it's I'll say that. Huh?
Hang on. Okay, I don't want to turn this into a guessing game.
No.
You would. I like a guessing game.
Because this is fun. I love shit like this. How can I say? It is original through and through.
Okay.
And it's completely different from what they did before.
Okay, so music-wise,
it's completely
but
different.
It's already open and it's already nominated.
I'm saying it's completely different music-wise from what the person auditioning for it just did.
Wow.
Okay, so that makes me feel like my instincts are probably correct. Can I guess?
Yes.
Okay, my two guesses are Some Like It Hot.
Okay.
And my other guess is Shucked.
Okay.
I don't have any guesses because I literally am not in that world. But I will guess. The Music Man.
Yes, it's the Music Man.
Harold Hill.
It closed.
An original new one.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that was that. Last night I did not have a show, but my mom is coming in on Thursday from a
Yes, Mom.
I hope we're all getting things for our mothers. And
I need to go do that.
Me too.
So I've been doing a lot of cleaning and whatnot. What else has been going on in my life since Sarah's last seen me? Because that was the question.
That is really the question. I mean,
so talking about being a rich bitch, and sort of piggybacking off of what Edward and I were talking about yesterday. I went to school for musical theater. That's what I've been training for since I was in 8th grade. I went to a private art school, and the only private art school in Chicago, all 4 years. Thank you very much, the Chicago Academy for the Arts.
love that.
Then from there, I went to Baldwin Wallace University for musical theater and the music conservatory. And so I've been doing this, chipping away at it for a long time. And there's a lot of downtime, and I'm not in New York, I'm not in the city. So the path may not look like everyone else's. I'm not in the city to be auditioning all the time. I fly to New York when I absolutely need to. And in doing that, I still have to pay my own bills and do those things. So
what is that like for you when I'm curious, because I know a lot of auditions, they'll be like local hire. And so you'll be like, sure. And then you have to fly to New York.
Well, so when I look on Playbill or Actors Access or whatever, and I'm looking for work, I see what I'm right for and gauge myself if it's worth the plane ride, if it's worth going out there. And I have an agent now, so they're working for me as well. And COVID did such a great thing where it put everybody on video auditions. So now your initial audition is via video. You can even submit yourself, what I mean?
My legit agent is in LA. I live in New York. Doesn't even matter. Yeah.
It has put a lot of the power in the sense of getting yourself seen back on the artist.
Yes. I agree. I entirely agree.
So I do a lot of video submissions. My agent sends me a lot of things through Actors Access. And I even though I'm here in Cleveland doing Ain't Misbehaving, I've had 2 callbacks for shows already, and you prop up your little ring light and you and you do the thing. Like that. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, no, I think that's cool. No, I was just thinking about how to fly to New York for an audition. I mean, that must be,
What helps is that you have your rapid rewards, come on Southwest, and you have friends in the city that
she's a Delta gal. She's a silver medallion, baby. She's going for gold right now.
Look, so on my phone, I have all of them. It's Southwest, American Airlines, United, Delta, and then
Hilarious.
Girl, you are me. It is literally all my shit is airlines points. Get it? Yeah, no,
you gotta do it. Because not every theater, my request is, and I need to finish my rider, but that's another thing. That's another story. But I always request to fly Southwest because then I have to pay for bags, and then I don't have to go through the rigmarole and burst from the theater. It makes it easier on them. It makes it easier on me. But some theaters have partnerships with different airlines. I've worked with most theaters I found partner with American, which is weird. So now. So I have an account with them. I have an account with Delta because of.
At least it's not Spirit, that bus in the sky where your spirit leaves your body every time you're on it. Not a sponsor.
That's why they call it Spirit.
I will give a gag. When I was doing Spamilton, original Chicago cast.
Ooh, I love that show.
Jeff nominated. I'm just kidding. When I was doing Spamilton, my friend Dontario and I, he did it more than I did, but we would use Spirit to pop in the city real quick and pop right back around. Oof. But I can't. We're too old. I can't fuck with Spirit no more. I'm sorry, y'all. Get y'all shit together. Y'all know what y'all.
No. It's a bus, and like, what really kills me is like, it's the only way to get to Myrtle Beach, and my family is in the South. So, what kind of beach are you going to get a house at in the summer? Myrtle, baby, Myrtle Beach. And so you fly directly. The only direct flight from New York City to Myrtle Beach is
through Spirit. Are you kidding me?
And it's like $45, but I'll tell you what, you you get the ticket and then like, oh, you want to pick where you're gonna see it, and it's not on the wing. Okay, that's 85. Oh, you want to do a carry-on, not a check bag? That's 75. So by the end, you're like, I should have just fucking flown Delta. I don't know what the hell. And then their seats are like concave, bitch.
Well, but then also try being a big person and getting into that.
Oh yeah,
like,
no.
Those seats barely fit either of you, and I'm like 8 inches taller than all of you. So it's like,
listen, everyone's 8 inches taller than me. Okay, so let's just
but I mean, like, the point is, it's just like, it doesn't, like, for me as a tall, wide person, does not feel safe.
It doesn't feel safe for me as a small baby, fragile little babu. It doesn't feel safe.
Little babu.
For the culture, I need to put lotion on my hands.
Great.
For the culture.
Before I got on here too.
We love
my culture. Yeah.
For the culture.
Little bitches.
I have to put lotion on my hands. I will not be on Beyonce's internet with ashy hands.
With ashy hands, get out of here.
Not in the era of Sasha Fierce. We can't. Not in the era of Beyonce our Lord.
Speaking of Beyonce's internet, I have been getting notifications all day that my Google Drive is like almost ready to explode. So I'm trying to like go through things that like I don't need anymore, and like a lot of it is like old music video files that I don't need, and like stems for things that I can save somewhere else. But I just found an expliciter version of a video with a friend of mine that I didn't realize
Are we sharing this?
Absolutely not.
Share on the pod.
Absolutely not. I don't even know what, because like we're not doing anything. We're talking to the camera. So obviously we made it for someone else to send to, but I'm confused as to whom that could have been. And then it
was to me.
It was to Sarah Seeds. Yes. I'm sending you videos of me with other naked men. What? Plural? That's not what I meant. I meant
plural.
I meant one, singular. It was just me. It's a solo. No, it's just
so
me.
What's your Google Drive password?
Yeah. Tell us. And also, bitch, can't you upgrade your Google Drive for like $2 and then you have
you can, but I'm already paying. Like, this is the thing, and this is where subscriptions get you. I am already paying for iCloud storage. I'm already paying for Dropbox storage. I have a 2 terabyte external hard drive, which I just figured out today how to do what I want to do. So we're good. Yes, we're good.
He's open for business.
Open for the biz. Okay. And this new computer thing has just been a kerfuffle since day one.
I love that.
Do you like it? Do you like the new iMac? Are you happy? Because I love my MacBook.
Like the desktop.
Yeah, and
I do. It's I don't know if I can ever go back to a smaller screen. Like I opened up my laptop screen the other week and I was like, where is everything? Because the screen is so big. And it like my range of motion is like 2 feet.
Don't tell her that. Don't tell her that.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, she heard you. Oh.
Yeah, but I do like it. I would recommend getting the one that has the larger amount of storage, because the one that they had in store and I had to walk out with a computer because it's my day-to-day work all the time. They didn't have the higher volume storage. So that one's 500 gig. This is 250 gig, which like my phone holds more, I feel. And like, so I bought the 2 terabyte external. But other than that, I would just say it's brilliant. I love it. I got the rose gold, obviously. And and then, just have an external to like whatever, but get the higher storage.
Well, good. So we're not a sponsor, but we'd love them to be. Apple, rose gold.
Right. Apple, give me a call. Everything I own is rose gold. My computer, my laptop, my headphones, my life.
Matter of fact, Apple, send us all an iMac.
Sure.
Let's
do it.
We're plugging you right now.
Well, actually, I would love another laptop so that I can be mobile, and so I don't have to be strapped to my desk all day, and I can go to like the little coffee shop on the corner and sit down and do my little clickety clack on the keyboard.
Clickety clack, and you don't talk back. I
mean,
let's go.
Well,
okay. Well,
anyway, Apple, please send me a laptop.
Yeah, forget her though. But yeah, David,
an iMac Space Gray. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another one, thank you.
Another thank you. I'm actually a not Mac user, so I'm just an imposter over here crushing it the other way, but it's okay. It's okay. Look, listen, my phone does this.
Okay, so I need to get my best friend also has this phone, and I need to get her the thingy on the back that you have there.
Oh yeah, she looks like a little purse.
Yes.
And because I'm a woman and have a vagina, I have no pockets and anything. So they're like, here you go. So I can put this in my little Michael Kors fanny.
I love it.
And it looks so good. I mean,
I
like
love a good fanny.
She just goes, and it's giving.
Love it.
We love that.
But enough of that. Also, Android sponsor as High Girl. So, but not Spirit. Not Spirit. No Spirit.
Even if they offer.
No Spirit.
No Stop Spirit. Listening. No. Go home. No.
No Spirit.
We're so obnoxious.
Spirit down.
I think we're wonderful. But also
I love us.
So David, yes, so since I've seen you, you've been all over, but I agree with you. Like this whole age of self-tapes has been the great equalizer. I'm actually on the committee for SAG-AFTRA for the self-tape committee, the National Self-Tape Committee. And a lot of the things we discuss are not only has it made like the big divide of like how much money you have or where you live being like the thing, or it's also like doesn't have the ableism it used to have. Like, you know, Americans with disabilities can now film the same video that I can film in the comfort of their own home. Age isn't a problem. Of course, like technology can be harder for those that aren't as equipped, but it actually has made it a lot easier to be booked in a lot of ways. There are negatives, as is anything. You know, they tried their little page count moment, which we tried to stop in terms of how many a night. And there's also like, you know, having to buy the setup. But once you have a decent setup, even a not that decent setup, you look good.
Yeah. I mean, well, and the other thing of that too is like, I know that the biggest complaint that I keep seeing from people online, and this is predominantly theater people, so I don't know really how TV people are kind of responding to this, but I feel like there's enough crossover that I can speak to the fact that like everyone is like, I'm just so much better in person. Like, I just need my vibe, like blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, like I don't, and specifically speaking, the people that I'm talking about are like, that's not true. That's just what you're telling yourself. But like, you know, I think it's easier for you to be better on camera because you don't have to just do it one time. You can go back, you can fix it, you can give your best without having to worry about people in the room and messing up. And if you mess up, it's fine because you can go back and like hit rewind and delete. Rewind, what year is it? You can like start over and delete. And I don't know, when I was doing it, I loved it because you could like, especially because I work from home, and just like stop what you're doing, go do the thing, finish it, upload it, you're done, go back to work. And when you're at a job, physically at a job, it's just like, okay, well, I'll do this when I get home, do the thing, send it out, done. It's not like you're missing anything.
I think I totally agree with you. And I also think there's a yes and in the sense that certain jobs, yes, you want to be in the room for it. You know what I mean? Like if we are talking, it's down to me and somebody else. Let me be in the room or whatever. Certain jobs we want to be in the room for. But that initial situation for me to get the call back, or better yet, just go to my YouTube page and see what I do. And you can deduce from there whether I can do it or not. Don't make me do 11 million things because of protocol, because of tradition at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sarah, what are your 2 bits on this?
I mean, my 2 bits are this. I've booked many bits. I've booked a print ad for I can't say the cosmetic company. It's a national print ad just like a month ago, and that was off of just a photo on my phone with a ring light with my backdrop with my studio lighting. Makeup free. That's what they requested. No makeup whatsoever. And I booked it. And I think if I was in studio for the initial thing, I don't know if I would have, because there's a lot of variables happening. They're trying to get people in and out, especially for a go see, which is for those of you who are listening who don't know what like a print ad audition is. It's a go see. So like for those, they're just like in and out. Cattle, just get the even if you're, you know, my agent got me this, but still, it's still a lot of people. So by the time I was even in the room with them was the callback, and it was such a smaller pool than like you're saying than what was initial. That's benefited me greatly. Also, I find that even as a filmmaker, I feel like it's fun for me to like use the camera here where I'm like tweaking something. I'm like, what was that? Like that, you can make angles, you can make things happen for yourself that'll make you stand out in the room. And also you're able to, and I think this is what social media is too, you're able to curate your image. I mean, you have the version you like of a scene, and that's what you like, and you know you fucking crushed it and you feel good about it, the energy's there, the character's there. That's the one you send. But what if you're in the room and of the 2 takes you get, and then don't get any notes from the director because they're not there, but the casting director tells you a couple things, you try to apply them, but you don't know which one they're sending off. This kind of gives you that control. Totally. I think it's very helpful.
And to that point, like in person too, not that everyone does this, but I think when you're there, you subconsciously like look around the room and scan who else has come in for this, and like, oh, are they in for this role? Are they in for this role? Or what are they here for? And by doing that at home, that takes that pressure off, you know, of having be distracted by like who else is in there. And a lot of times through those doors, they're paper thin. You can hear what other people are doing. And consciously or subconsciously, you know, like that could affect the way that you present yourself in the room one way or another. And so it
yeah, is there a Clydesdale upstairs? I mean, what's going on? Like,
right, like,
clout, yeah.
I had an audition for Duncan Stewart years ago, RIP, that like was for, I don't remember what it was for exactly, but like I was about to start singing and they stopped me because there was an ambulance going by and they couldn't, it was loud as shit. We were on the 2nd floor and so they couldn't hear me, so they stopped, and like it was stuck in traffic, so it was a couple minutes, so we were just like, cool, how you guys doing, how's your day going? And like it worked to my favor, I guess, because I got to talk to them and be in there a little bit longer, but it was just the initial, like, we had to stop because of something that was out of our control, you know, and whatever have you. And when you're in that situation in person, like there's so many variables that are out of your control that you can't do anything about, whereas when you're at home and you're recording, there can be a lot of things that you are in control of.
Also memorizing. Memorizing.
Yes.
You know, I was going to bring this up. It's like, it's not taboo to say that, you know, SAG-AFTRA fought for this. Like, you actually legally, you're not allowed, you need to get paid if you're going to fully memorize like 6 pages. That's actually like work. Like, that's not just like, here's an audition, here's something that, you know, so they can't say you have to have it memorized. But when you're at home in your studio, you can have little prompts or things on the screen to the left, or things that maybe even in your room that trigger like, you know I need to look over here at, this is when I'm talking to Aunt blah, 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 but this is when I'm talking to da, da, da. You can set that up for yourself. Also have some keywords, some whatever, even a teleprompter sometimes for like commercial work that's like very telepromptery. Some of it really calls for that, and you wouldn't be able to do that in the live sense. And it really helps.
Yeah.
I've actually done that where I've had the script hate on the ring.
Absolutely. I know I know,
and booked from that too, from doing that.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this yesterday, David, but like this podcast, Las Culturistas, with Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang, love them. It's one of my favorite podcasts. I hope to be on it someday, putting it out in the universe. Matt and Bowen, give it to me. But they interview Betty Gilpin, and she talks about this, where like this is back in like 2018, I think, that they recorded this, and she talks about like putting the camera on the window and taping the sides to the window because the natural light like makes you look amazing, and then you have the sides right there, and they both were like, that's genius, that's brilliant. I'm like, isn't this what everyone is doing? Like,
well, because you would see
what were we doing before?
They'll say you can bring the script in, right? They always say bring the script in with you for the audition, and you should, especially in person. Like, don't be like that person, like, no, I got it, and then you're like, ugh. And then you're wasting their time because you didn't fucking have it in your hand. So always bring in your script like that. That's what you'd have to do. But now with self-tapes, basically bringing the script in with you is having it there. And if you need it, you take a gander, you know. I think it's like, it's a very effective way, especially for eyeline. So,
and I'll say this for all you young actors out there, I'll piggybacking off of what Sarah's saying, always take the script in with you, because even if you already know the song, even if you know the song, because I'm going to show you, if I can get a piece of paper right here of what I did in a room, and I booked it, right? I was singing this song, and there's a modulation, and the song gets really big. I was like, yada, 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 da, 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 da.
Get out.
Yes, as an accent piece.
Yeah. But also too, I've been told over the years that like casting doesn't like when you don't have it in your hand.
Yeah, it looks amateur.
It makes them nervous.
Yep.
Like,
It's
are you gonna make
distracting.
it? Yeah. Are you gonna make it? Are you gonna get through? Like, how
Also,
much of this
don't
do you
fake
really have
smoke a
memorized?
cigarette with a pen.
Yeah.
Bring an
Like,
actual cigarette in. Don't light it, but bring something in, or don't smoke. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't be like, yeah, they're like, stop. Oh my God. Stop. You know?
yeah.
There's just so many things. There's so many things we can teach you children. See, this is how you become a rich bitch. You know the
Right.
tricks of the trade, the tea, all of it.
Listen to your aunties.
Be on your gig, know your shit, know
Yes.
yourself, be mindful of who is around you. Open a savings account that you do not touch. It is not for your rent. It is not for your shopping. It's just like, oh, I got paid from such and such today. Let me put 10, 15, 20% of that over there. And I can't touch it. Everett talked about
For
that.
the children in the back.
For the children in the back.
For the children in the back.
Get out of here with that fail.
And it's hard because we want to live and we want to, you know, live our best lives and be fancy for whoever the fuck. But that shit does not matter. If you want to be fancy, do it for yourself.
Honey.
You know, do it for yourself. Us legal men do that, you know.
Well, I mean, I'm not that we are in any position to give official financial advice because we are not financial advisors. However, you know, I mean, the one thing that was a big game changer for me was like having a separate like checking account for rent, like just removing that entirely from my other account. And like, it's just there. Money goes into it. I don't even see it. It's like it doesn't exist.
Separating work and play, like we're talking about how like dedicate your time to your self-tape, dedicate your time to your interview, dedicate your time to creating this character or really being fully present in the room. Because if you don't separate or at least compartmentalize in a healthy way in terms of like your money and finances and your creativity and the job, like I'm out to book something. When I'm doing that commercial audition about whatever is happening, whatever I'm trying to sell, that is where I'm at. I can't be focused on this or that. And the same thing has to do with your money. It can't all be just get it when you need it, grab into the pool, get that peanut jar, get on in there. No. I'm telling from the South. But get the, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like get that jar, get them
let's be real.
Get the cookie.
Get your hand out of the cookie jar.
Get your hand out the cookie jar. But yeah, that's what I mean. It's like very true. It's very true to have that that helps with financial literacy, to have something set aside. And also investing, maybe if that's some of that into something that can accrue money when you're older, you'll be happy you did that.
And so many of us didn't grow up with any kind of financial guidance at all. Like not even a remote little inkling of like, try this. Like never once did I hear any murmurs of like financial anything until like, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago.
Especially for artists. And I want to do a call.
Especially for artists.
I'm going to do a call to NYU Stone Street Studios. Miles Teller is from that. Rachel Brosnahan. They were different years than me, but it's the same school in that it was a 3-camera for like sitcom-y soaps. It had a straight camera for film. And then there was a whole class dedicated to the business where we literally talked about money, finances, negotiating, what percentage your agent should have, how much money you should put into this, as opposed to that. That was crazy to me to be, I think I was 19 and just be like, wow, they're talking about something that I've been trying to ask questions about, but I didn't have the literacy or, you know, I didn't have the verbiage to say, please show me how to balance this, or please show me how to have money put away. Wait, actors get a retirement? Yeah, girl. They have a pension and health, you know.
Wait, we do?
SAG-AFTRA does. But
no,
what does equity have?
Equity does too.
Equity has it too.
Yeah.
Equity has it too. And depending on which theater or which company you work for, they will match whatever you put away. Some of these
I've never worked for any of those, so
oh,
it's whatever.
But or a 401k, you know, get yourself like Fidelity Investments, like get yourself a boo-boo there and start making that thing happen. You know, don't touch it for a while. You know, don't touch it till you're 60 and young and fun. You know, just wait 65 maybe. You know, like. There's things that we just aren't told to do, which is like, especially when you're a teenager or early 20s, that you're just like, that's stupid. I'm not even thinking about that, but you should, because it's gonna really help you. Well, also, it's never too late.
It is never too late, as I'm finding out.
Start doing that.
LOL. But I mean, I think it's also really this ties into a lot of what I end up talking about really everywhere, because I can't beat this point over the head enough. And it's kind of like a venture that I'm in the middle of changing, seeking out, redirecting at the moment as well. But like having it, like it's okay to have a corporate job or like a thing that pays you dollars that are like real money, because I feel like a lot of what I wasn't able to do in this regard when I was younger was put anything aside because I wasn't making enough. Like I remember this one gig I took. It was in Gettysburg. It was a show about the Civil War. It was written by an
Shocker.
Emmy
In Gettysburg?
in Gettysburg or
Gettysburg?
it was intentional. But you know,
Yeah.
like it was written by an Emmy winner. There was like an Oscar nominee that was doing the music. There was a very Tony Award winning director doing it. So it was like names. And you know, I signed up to do it because like of all of the things that I had mentioned. But then I got the offer and it was like $125 a week with no wiggle room. And like we were housed, but like it was $0, and I did it. I'm glad I did, because I made some lifelong friends there and it was a great summer. But
Pizza
like
bites for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
no, we were
Period.
we were living it up. We had like a crab steam. We did like a whole like fish fry. Like
With what money? With what money?
Right.
we all pooled it together.
Okay,
It
so
was
y'all
like
walked
whatever.
away negative. Got it.
Of course we did. But that's what I'm saying. Like even taking like 10%, $12 out of that paycheck was like, no, why?
Buy
I'd rather
yourself a lollipop, girl. Yeah.
right. I'd rather have a 6-pack of
Suck it
beer.
up.
Like
Yeah.
but that was also a strange time. I was like, yeah, money things were weird then. It was
Well,
for me personally, but
money is weird. And until you're like until your relationship with it is not weird and your relationship is more like you exist. I'm gonna do the best I can with you. I'm gonna trust that you exist.
Well, it's
Yeah.
fake, first of all.
Yeah, it's all fake.
Yeah,
But I do need to work with you.
Right.
I must have
right.
you. I must have you to function.
But
Mhm.
I'm me. You're not it, but I'm gonna work with you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? David, I want to ask you a question. And you don't have to say the amount, but what's your highest paying gig? And was it reflected in the gig? And what did you feel getting that gig?
My first on-camera speaking role when I was on season 3, episode 4 of Fargo. That was the highest gig. And it's still paying because of residuals.
Because of SAG-AFTRA residuals, baby. Yeah.
Union strong.
Union strong as fuck.
What was the second part of the question? Do I feel like it?
How did that make you feel differently towards, like, do you know, like, we're talking about doing projects here and we're talking about being underpaid, but still loving the job, having a good time. But like, was there a level of a different feeling that you got from it due to not just the, what a great opportunity to be on camera with some dope people, but like also the pay? Did it make a difference for you in terms of experience?
Yeah, it did. Coming from theater where you're getting paid literally pennies. I worked 8 hours and got a couple $1,000.
Wild. Day rate plus then your residuals. That's amazing.
And overtime.
Yep, and overtime. Oh yeah, because if you go overtime, your hours,
baby.
What you should be getting, because many people watch that.
Yes, they do. I felt like I was well compensated. In theater, I find that I have to not fight tooth and nail, but fight for what I'm worth.
You're worth.
And
that's even within the union structure.
I don't even think the minimum is enough. Wow. Period. I think I saw on TikTok somewhere where an actor was like, the minimum if you're a union actor should be $1,000, period. Because a lot of people don't factor in taxes, my agent, my union, or whatever else that I have to pay before I even get my money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Factor that in. I recently had a conversation with my agent, and I at first I thought I was being rude, but I said, fuck that shit, fuck being rude. I emailed him. I was like, my minimum is this. And when I say my minimum, I mean, you as my agent need to calculate what my minimum will be in my pocket after you've been paid, after my union's been paid, and after whoever else fuck has been paid. After all of that, this number needs to be in my pocket, minimum. And he's like,
Yes.
oh, well, I think the opportunities won't be as frequent. And I was like, I don't care. And an opportunity did come up, and the payoff, and it was below my minimum, but the payoff, if I get this gig, would be worth it because I get to work with who's
Yes.
involved with it. And I was like, okay, I'll forego what but it's still, you know, this is what we're going for. If I'm not originating a role, if I'm not working with someone who can change something, no,
Yeah, no.
absolutely not, because I still have to pay my bills. Thank God I just got a new roof, so that's done. But I come on, what are we actually talking about here? And the issue is a lot of people take gigs because they know these kids are coming out of college and oh my God, they're so good, and they'll just hire the kids because the kids are ready to
Scarcity mindset. Yeah, scarcity
right.
mindset.
Big time.
And my thing is, well, first of all, these schools should be teaching the kids their worth, because
Yes.
if you're coming out of school on it, period, your voice is top notch and all that shit, then pay the kid. And if I'm a seasoned actor, pay me.
I see. Yeah, seasoning. Yeah.
Then pay these folks.
I see the spice.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the money, then get some more people on your board. Find it. There are a lot. What I learned when I worked as a business manager of a theater, there's so much money out here in grants that you don't have to pay back. You just have to sit down, find them, write the letter, do the thing to get the grant. It is so, and you can get more money. Yes, what you do is expensive, but where there's a will, there's a way. I just had a conversation, Edward, when I got off the phone with you. A friend reached out to me and was like, hey, there's a grant out here for this. You should apply for XYZ, and I think you would get it because of XYZ. I was like, all right, let's do it. Let me apply for this grant, and we'll see what happens.
Yes.
A lot of theaters don't have the infrastructure, I understand, to do the things or pay more, but at least come in. We have to, at $1,000 in this economy, $1,000 a week should be the minimum.
I thought you were saying $1,000 a day, and I was still like, and a week. That's what you're asking.
Even
for theater,
absolutely.
I mean, and when I say $1,000 a week, I mean on the regional circuit, like even like
yes, no, I agree.
These different lords. I'm not talking about Broadway. If I'm on Broadway, everyone, and if I'm on Broadway, that means I'm living in New York.
Yeah.
My minimum should at least be 35, even if I'm in the ensemble.
Well,
yeah,
and I remember
now? It's like 1,700 or something.
Oh my God, no, it's like 2,500 a week.
25 or 29. The minimum,
which sounds good until you factor in paying your agent, paying taxes. Taxes come out at a higher rate at that point. Than rent and car service and trains and gym and
because a lot of theater doesn't do the booking and addition your agent fee. Like a lot of SAG-AFTRA stuff is like blank $4,000 plus agent fee. So it's like on top of it. It's not coming from your thing. So
yeah. And David, to your point too. I mean, I remember years ago I worked at this summer theater that was. I think they offered me $300 a week, and I was able to negotiate up to like $375 or something because I was like about to be 30, and it was like absolutely not, no. And so I took it because it was a show I loved, and it was a place I'd never been, and it looked beautiful, and I was like, fine, cool. And then we get up there, and like I think it was like the second day we had like an event that we were asked to go to as the cast that was for the board and whatever, and what the money people, and the artistic director stood around bragging about how like their seasonal budget was like 1.6 million, and I was like, and you were fighting me on $75? Like,
good luck, girl. Good luck.
To your point, David, like there is always money somewhere. Like if you want me that bad, you're gonna pay for it, because it's just being lied to and deceived and bamboozled over years and years and years of this narrative in the arts that there is no money, there's nowhere to find the money, it's not in the budget, blah 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 blah. Like you said, go call someone else on your board, go apply for a grant, go sell some shit that's in storage that you don't need. Like, I don't care. Take care of your cast, take care of the people that you're hiring to work for you, because like at the end of the day, you're going to make so much more than you're paying them anyway. like the profit margins on some of these places are enormous, and it's designed that way. And it's why the 20-year-olds accept jobs for $125 a week, because, you know, these people think that they can. And until we change that narrative straight out the gate of university or training or whatever, where you have to like hurry up and get something and it doesn't matter how much it costs, just build up your resume. Who cares? Like, just pay me, just give me what I'm worth. The most I've ever made on a professional gig ever was like 7 something. I think it was like 750 or 8 something a week.
What were you going to say, David? So you're trying to.
I was saying that. Sorry. I was saying that, you know, as we're doing these jobs and as these kids are coming out of college, if now I've lost my train of thought. Wow. Stupid brain fog. But no, these colleges, I'll just talk about the students. These colleges should tell the kids, you just paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to get trained. Some of y'all have to pay that shit back.
Yep.
I'm sending you to New York to work in musical theater with hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt.
Yeah.
What the literal fuck?
It's fucked.
Yeah. Your minimum should be this, especially if I feel like I've trained you.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you should be worth. Because and oh, that's what it was. Edward, you're talking about saying the kids have to like build up your resume. There are people who didn't go to school and are on Broadway like that with no resume.
Especially now, I think in the environment that we're in, not just in the arts, but really kind of in everything, unless it's like a hyper specific thing, nobody needs a college degree. If you can learn it online, if you can learn it from somebody else and you can show up and deliver, who cares?
Unless you're a lawyer or a doctor.
Yeah, that's in the non-corporate
that's what
world.
I mean. Right.
Because
right.
like the majority, so from my father's perspective, my father's an electrical engineer, never ever went to college, was everyone's boss, literally hired people with master's degrees like 5 years ago because you had to have it still. So my point is that we're in the world of the social media, self-made, can film yourself doing anything, can come up with something, can design something. Those are all the things you can do that for. But there is still that red tape and that like weird stigma. Oh, you don't have a bachelor's? Oh, you don't have it's still there.
I think that's definitely true to a point. I'm only able to speak to my own experiences, but I have worked in some very high level places that required degrees that I don't have one, and I've somehow.
That's awesome.
Like the hedge fund I worked in, you had to have a bachelor's degree and a 3-year minimum. I had nothing. I came in through a temp agency. They liked me. They hired me. The end. The job I have
came
now.
into a different channel.
Yeah, the job I have now with the Chelsea Symphony, like that's a marketing and PR position. I know how to do it. I can deliver. I don't have a degree. Certainly not in that. If I was going to go to school, it wouldn't have been in that.
I just think it's like for sure in the arts. I think it's just from experience, from my own experience, that you don't need to do it. I'm glad I went because I think it matured me as a human. I needed those 4 years to like be on my own and whatever. Was it worth the price tag? No.
Well,
so
let me ask you this though. I mean, like, I know you're an NYU gal, and like
I went for a summer. Yeah, I didn't go to.
Oh, okay. I thought you went the whole way through. Got it. Okay. Oh, that's right. We talked about this before. I forgot. But all of that aside, like take the price tag of a college and apply that to moving to New York, finding teachers that are reputable and good, and learning on your own without the structure of college while working a job. You know, obviously there's serves and limits of all of that. That's kind of what I did. And it cost way less than college did. But at the same time, like, is there something missing in that procedure? Because I think I'm a very like practical application kind of person where like tell me how to do it and then let me go do it. So for me it was like move to New York, find a teacher, tell me all the things, have me learn, and then I'm going to go figure out the audition circuit myself by actually going to auditions.
Totally.
So like from the time while all of my peers were like in college learning all the things, I was doing auditions, getting in the room, being seen by the people. And obviously, like, I've never been on Broadway, so like, did that really help me? I don't know, but like, it felt like a head start. And for a different kind of person, or the right quote unquote right kind of person, like kind of going in, like, I guess bald face, I guess, is like just going to the city, doing all the things on your own organically is probably the word that I meant, without a big fancy program behind you, would save you money, and in turn could get you ahead faster if you're the kind of person that could do well under those circumstances.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, because being the Libra, I like to look at everything.
Yep.
Are you Libra too?
I'm Libra rising. I'm a Virgo at moon and sun with a Libra rising. So I have the Libra. That's my personality. Yeah.
That's why we all get along, because David and I are both Libras. Your birthday's the day before mine, right?
I'm October 5th. You're October 9th.
7th.
Me and Beyonce have the same birthday, September 4th. But
oh my God.
Hey. Speaking of Beyonce, she's about to start her Renaissance tour.
I know, I can't. It's the best album all time. I can't handle it.
I don't think I've listened to anything on it that wasn't a hit.
It's perfect.
The entire album from start to finish.
I did an event today and played it in the background while I was doing the event. I just said it had to be playing. That was just what I said to do. And it was amazing.
I'm truthfully a little salty because she stole my album title.
Renaissance. No, it wasn't your title Renaissancing.
It was, but she saw it and she was like, I'm gonna just take
she's
that.
She's like, I'm one of one. I'm number one.
Right.
Except for Ed.
I'm the only one.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, this gay little white boy, I'm gonna take
She's
his
like,
ideas.
I'm one of anyway, but David, you're gonna talk about that. And I actually have another thing to say about that too. David, you're gonna talk about like
I'm gonna
piggyback.
Going back to me and Edward's conversation yesterday. There's no one right road to
yes.
Their programs, like I went to a fancy school, Baldwin Wallace University, and I'll go Yellow Jackets. And I am so appreciative of the education that I got. I will ride hard for the education at BW. And so everyone's trajectory is different. I know my best friend, she went to AMDA. She rides hard for the training she got at AMDA. And there are people who can just go to New York and do the thing and make it happen. I was the person that was like, I needed to be in someone's classroom. I needed to be in someone's studio.
Totally, yeah.
You know, so there's no one right road to the thing, you know. You just have to be aware, and it's very hard to be aware of yourself at 17, 18, 19, whenever you're leaving high school. But you try to be, and hopefully you've had a good enough foundation to know yourself well enough to say, this is what's going to work best for me. If I were to do it all over again, would I go to BW? Probably. I think I'd do a hybrid, a little bit of both. I probably would have killed myself. I think I would have done some outside classes and still gone to BW, you know, or who knows? Yeah. But I know I am so grateful for going to that school. Now, some of the emotional stuff that happened, I don't know somewhere, but
ooh, that's a totally different
in
combo.
New York too. Yeah, no, but that's the thing is like, it's a different experience for each person. Like for me, I went to George Mason because it was an in-state school. I got into NYU, but I couldn't afford to go, so I did in-state. I still had a ton of student loans, but because I was learning right away what loans are and to pay them off, that's why I don't have any debt now, is because I was taught right away, get your shit paid. And so, and I still managed to do all the things I wanted to do. That being said, I learned much more in the School of Hard Knocks and just coming up to New York at age, I think I graduated when I was 20. So I came up here, graduated high school at 17, 20, I'm in New York, really just pounding the pavement and doing it. Was way more educational, obviously, than a college. But I think that, and for the arts too, but I do think my experience, I would never change because it got me ready in terms of the real world, being away. I was actually not like out in the wilderness yet. I was on a sort of in the wilderness, right? Because you have dorms and you have classes and you have people that you know and people that you've become really close knit with. And it's kind of a dipping your toes in the water of like Minnetonka version of like getting out. And so to me, it was kind of hybrid. Minnetonka. I have to always quote Prince every time I can.
I love
but You know what I mean? So I feel like, yeah, it's like a hybrid too. Cause then I got a grant to go to NYU. Like you said, I found out there was this one paper I could write, say, hey, I got into NYU. Hey, I want to go to the summer Stone Street Studios intensive at NYU. And then that'll add to my credits and I'll say I've been to NYU. And I did that. And that's what got me like into the city. And then I was like, oh shit. So there's so many ways. There's just so many avenues and so many ways.
I think to the point of like having something else too. I mean, I feel like I would have, if I would go back and do it again, I don't know if I would have maybe gone to college right away, because I did love like moving here and being a little baby and like kind of getting knocked around a little bit and figuring it out. So I don't know if I would trade that, but I think what I would have done, and I started to pursue this in my early 20s and then I stopped myself, but I was looking at Baruch College for a business degree. Like I was going to go and get an MBA, like a BA and then an MBA. And I stopped myself doing it because I was like, oh, if I'm in school, I won't be able to be an actor, blah, 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 which is just like, honestly, like who cares? If you took a year off, who cares? But also knowing the way that I am, I would have been able to go to school and still have a voice teacher on the side, still have an acting coach on the side, still go to auditions. And like school would have always been there, and you can put that on pause and you can leave and come back. And I think that that would have been for what I'm doing now, just like knowing where I'm at now and what I'm doing now, if I would go back, I think that's the only thing I would change.
I feel that. Because we talked about this before, that my parents said, don't go to college, Sarah. Literally just go to New York. And I said, no, I want to get a degree, a double degree, communications and theater, and a minor in dance. Because I was just like, I want to have something but that was how I felt I needed to do it. Now, should I have gone up to New York? Maybe, because like I came up here and did the whole knock me around shit for a while. I was a server. I cried when I saw someone's SAG card because I thought I'd never get one, and now I'm on the board. So that's like this whole weird juxtaposition of like where you come from and then where you end up. So I think what it's really interesting and what supports everything we're saying is that everyone's path is different, but what matters is that you learn from your experiences and then apply them to your life now. If you're not learning, you're not living. And that doesn't mean be in school. That means live life, So yeah. I feel like we all know so much about so many things because we've lived.
Well, and we've all come from such different angles too.
Yes.
I was just like, rip the Band-Aid off, let's go. And like you kind of jimmied the system. And David, like you went through like the correct, quote unquote, correct way to do it. And I know, but that's, I mean, like the expected way.
Yeah, what is, but yes.
Exactly. But you know what I mean? And so the three of us having such different perspectives on this and experiences on this, and then seeing where we all are in the ways that our lives have carried us and that we have pushed our lives in the direction of, I think it's so interesting that like, I would venture to say that we're all like pretty close to like something big next.
You better say it, because it is, first of all of us, we're claiming it all. Hands to claiming, hands to
claiming. And I can do it now because I got that stupid hand recognition thing.
Oh yeah, claiming. Absolutely claim. I've started manifesting again, and it's really happening already again. We have to manifest. We have to.
Yeah. And it's just like the focus of making it happen, because like, I do feel that regardless of the path that you're on, and again, the three of us having such different pathways to get to where we are right now, all of us are kind of like on a crest, like right before we just like dive over the other side into whatever is coming. Like honestly, I feel it for myself, and like I'm kind of over here stirring the pot, like getting the brew ready to go. double toil and trouble. And Sarah, I mean, I feel like you're constantly on the cusp of something amazing, like always, every day.
I'm like, I already have it, so
right. So give me more.
Give it, just like you're already gonna give it to me, and just do it now.
Right. Well, and it's also the idea of like you already have it, just reveal itself to me.
Yes.
That's how I feel. I feel like, can you just open this door already? Because I've been sitting out here for like.
Right. I know it's on the other side, and I've been knocking
anyway. So like, I'm making another door. So like, I'm gonna get it and just like figure it out for me. If you want to make it easy.
And that's also a very important point too. Like, even if you're standing in front of a door and knocking on it, being like, let me in, can you just open already? There are always other doors.
So many.
Always other doors. And when other doors close, there are others to open. And when windows close, there are others to open. And so like the door window adage, but like it's just like it's that Jim Carrey quote that I saw the other day where he was saying, know where you want to go, but detach from the way in which you get there.
100%.
And so, like David and I were talking about yesterday, like the billboard situation for me. When I was a teenager, I came here, saw all the people on the billboards on Broadway, and I was like, God, like that's making it, like being on a billboard somewhere because of a Broadway show. And like now I have one coming up, but it's not because I'm in a Broadway show. So it's like the same result, but the way I got there was different.
And it's much better. It's much better because if your face is on a billboard for a Broadway show, that's someone else making money on your face.
No,
right?
totally. Well, absolutely. And I mean, and I don't want to make it like specific to me because it really could just be, I want to make this a more general statement, not specific to me, only using my example, because like what you want, if you're attached to how you're going to get it, then you're going to miss the chance to maybe get there because you're not receptive to the other ways in which you can achieve it.
David, do you find yourself like in your acting, like you're predominantly acting, correct? Do you write as well? Yes, I'd love to hear about that because me and you, when we met, first off, I feel that same energy from you. Obviously, what I feel from Ed is like just on the massively beam of light, a very energetic being that you're drawn to. And I think me and you, David, we didn't even really know that you knew Ed. We just immediately, me and you were like, and then
exactly
I was like, yeah, okay, yeah. And then you were like, I was like, oh, you're the David literally that he said is doing this. And you're like, oh, you're the Sarah. We did not even know. Yeah. We just went boop. I wanted to hear about like, other than the acting, which is like our main boo-boo kitty love, what do you like to do? Like, what do you like to do in terms of other creative outlets? And I want to hear about them.
My father was a pianist, so I should be much better at playing the piano, but I too dabble on my piano. I write songs all the time.
Awesome.
And I thank God for the voice memo app on the iPhone because then I can just whatever is in my mind. I also enjoy creating like little movies on iMovie. I don't know if you know this, Sarah, but Edward knows this, and we talked about it yesterday. During COVID, I created my own Tony Award special.
I told her.
He told me before this. I have not. You didn't tell me, and I want to hear. I mean, I know you guys probably talked about it on the other, but I'd love to hear because I want people to. Where can people go see it? Like, what can we do?
It's on my YouTube page. And it's on my YouTube.
What's your YouTube channel? What's the handle?
That's my name, David Robbins.
Great. That's DAVIDROBBINS to those listening.
Let me just make sure.
ROBB.
ROBB. IMN.
It's actually David @David D as in David, S as in Sam, R as in Robert 01.
We're gonna put that in the
notes.
The notes. We'll put them in
the little description below.
There it is.
And is it linked to like your Insta or something where they can click on?
My YouTube page is its own floating thing. It's not linked to my Instagram handle is @david.s.robbins.
There we go. Thank you.
There we go. And you can also go to www.davidsrobbins.com.
Yes, please plug.
That will link to my Instagram, my Facebook, and my agents.
Whoop.
Oh,
and you're like, and you can catch me at the Kroger on 9 p.m. on every Saturday. The
Kroger, not the Kroger.
No, I like to write. I am in the middle of writing 4 different scripts right now.
Ooh.
I have to finish them. Edward, we haven't talked about this. What else do I like to do in my spare time? I love doing projects on my home. I'm based in Chicago.
Yeah.
The goal is to have a place in Chicago and New York, but I'm getting my home in Chicago together first. I would like for the thing, whether it be Broadway or TV film, to bring me to New York. So I don't just have to go there and be like, I'm here, now what? And I have a aim for a place back home as well.
I just in Chicago for only in and out. It was a booking and it was like fly in on Friday, be there Saturday for 5 hours, work 5 hours, get on the plane Sunday morning and be back.
I'm gonna hold up my pinky finger and say this to both of y'all. If you're ever in Chicago,
And we don't contact you?
I swear to.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry about that. Sorry that it was a really in and out situation. It was
Sarah has been called out.
Yeah.
I love a quickie, but it's fine.
Okay, next time. Standing up. Okay. On the corner. Got it.
If my mom ever hears this, she's gonna be like, "Who is my son?" This is who I really am. Anyway.
Yes. Straight.
I am a straight man.
Oh,
This
God,
is who I am. I'm
so
into
tired.
women.
I'm so tired of playing that game. Ugh.
Ugh, that's gross. Yeah,
It's
that whole
gross.
I
That's
mean, no
that's
one
a
needs
whole
more
different
straight men.
episode of
No
this
one
shit.
needs that more of them. No
No.
one.
Get rid of them.
But anyway,
As a woman who likes men, I still don't need. We don't need that more. We don't need.
No, we're good. Let's put a cap on it.
Oh, we're good. We're good. The quote is full. The quote is full.
But anyway, but those that's how I like to spend my time. I'm an artist through and through. I'm always creating something, or like even if I'm just sitting doing nothing, a melody or something will come into my head, or an idea will come into my head. Most of the time I just let them go. But my best friend has been challenging me to just write the idea down. So what I started to do is I will take my Google Drive app, and if it's just an idea or something, I'll just type it into Google Drive. So it's out there. Nothing may come of it, but it's just there. And that's sort of how those scripts started. I had these ideas. I just wrote paragraphs about them. And then I started to just type out the conversations I heard in my head. You know, the scenarios that I saw playing out in my mind. And now that I don't know what's going to come of them. I don't know.
But that's not the point, right? It's just that they're coming out and you feel inspired to make them, right? To write them down. I think that's like, to me as a writer too, it's like my favorite thing is when I can't stop writing, or it's like an idea that I just can't help but write down. Dr. Seed started as that, the show that I produced. It was just like, what would happen if there was a non-licensed psychiatrist on the D train and she tried to fix people, and how annoying would that be? And how insane would that be? And so I would just write little quickies, like little tiny little like, beep, 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 beep. And that's what kind of got me to what I made, you know? So I think that's it. I mean, just tapping into the source and not worrying about how it turns out, and not judging it as you do it.
That part, not judging, and just remember to have fun. And sometimes it can just be therapy. You know, you just need to experience something in your life and you want to get it out. And most of the time when I'm retelling stories or anything, it's usually in script form. Edward knows this. I'll be like, this just happened. I said this, and it'll look like a script. Like I said, David said, blah, blah, blah. And then this person said, blah, 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 like that.
Why is that, you think? Is it's easier to digest, or is it's so like
it's easier for me to retell?
Right. There's no confusion about who said what.
Right.
The receipts of it all.
Because a script, like if you're reading a script, it literally paints the picture.
Yeah, it's just
for you. Yeah. It's just easier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I find that really fascinating. I think that's so dope. And like, it is cool to hear that you have artistry in your blood too, like that your dad is a pianist. And
so my mom is a CPA by that's what she does. But my mom is a natural actress, and is always drawn to music. She's very, very artistic.
That's wonderful.
And like I said, my father was a pianist and a gospel composer. He wrote a few songs that were published, and he passed away when I was in 8th grade. And I always wonder how different my life would be in this industry if he were still alive.
Right.
What do you mean by that?
Well, because he knew so many people. Nepotism. I'm speaking about nepotism, damn it.
Yeah, but then you want to be on this podcast, boo. This is not for Nepo babies. Just
right. You would not be here, bitch.
No, but that's a good point to make. You know, I've had the same thought in my life, because both my parents are not artists, not in the field. My dad's an electrical engineer. My mom used to teach art. Wow. Right. There's a motorcycle outside. My mom used to teach art in elementary school. And then when she had kids, it was like, nope. And there was none of that. So I always wondered too, what that would be like to just have a parent. I'm not complaining about my youth was great. I'm so happy for my parents, the ones I have. But it is interesting, you know, when you think about what could have been with your father being so in the arts, how would that shape your life? What would he think about what you're doing now? What would he feel? Would you guys commiserate about certain things? You know,
I think we would be collaborating on music.
yeah.
He was my first piano teacher, and then I think he got frustrated, so then they actually paid for lessons. But even when I started having an outside piano teacher, he was still there teaching me and guiding me. There's a song from the musical called Closer Than Ever, called oh my God, you are the music. If I sing, you are the music. But anyway, the lyrics go, my father's pride was in his hands. The piano was his soul. I often wonder as he played show tunes, much off of rock and roll. What he loved, he taught me. Now music's what I do. And often when I'm writing in my hands, Dad's there too. That it's my life. Whenever
that sounds like a spinoff variation of like Ragtime from Daddy's Son.
What I can't
Daddy
remember.
Played piano.
Oh shit! Yeah.
When I sing, the musical is called Closer Than Ever, and the song is called When I Sing. When I sing, you are the music.
Oh yeah.
I love you, taught me how every day. And yes, I'm singing, so people can know I can sing like a book more.
Oh yes.
This is not an audition, David.
Yes, it is. Anything is. Go for it.
You first rule of being a rich bitch in this industry: use every platform you're given.
Use it.
Okay.
Why do you think she gets close to the mic and does little voices?
Hey.
Okay. Truly.
I hate us so much.
I know, me too. We're awful and gutted.
I hate us too. I'm actually going to go because I hate us.
I love your shirt, Basquiat.
Yeah, Basquiat.
Did you see the exhibit in New York?
No, I didn't, and I'm so pissed because I had to leave. I was so
I was there opening night because I was helping out with its opening because I was like really involved. It's just a little bit more involved, and his whole family was there. And I became really close with one of his, I think, uncles and his brother. And we follow each other on Instagram, and they're the most kind humans. Everything I do, they're like, I love it. Yes, girl. Yeah. Like, what a gorgeous family and what a gorgeous legacy. I mean, his work is
amazing,
unparalleled. My best friend got to go to the exhibit with her mother. And I was she was sending the pictures. It's like, and I just could not make it to New York to see it. And I hate that, and I hope it tours.
It needs to, because it's unreleased stuff like his family has, you know, like notes and his upbringing. I got to see his living room when he was a kid, and like the club scene and who he was there with. And I forgot that he like was with Madonna for a minute, and all this like random, really interesting pop culture moments. Yeah. And
New York, I love it.
It's so New York. It's so grungy and like fucking real.
I miss that.
Yes.
Is New York grungy anymore? Honestly, you guys live.
It's crunchy as hell still.
It's very grungy. Yes.
Yeah. COVID was like, oh girl, you thought you were clean. Now you're grungy again.
Just kidding. We're gonna take it back to the 80s.
Yeah, there's like a lot of really fun things lately too that I've gone out to and seen that really make me feel like that New York grit, but like in a really beautiful way, you know, and I miss that.
And to be clear, it's not the grit that like when you walk down the street, you feel like you immediately need to take a shower because you're covered with like urine smell.
We're talking about the good grit.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about because if you're ever in Chicago, Edward, you know, Boys Town used to feel really gritty, like that, you know, that rebellion of it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And now it's like shiny chrome and pretty.
Yeah, where I was staying was actually a little bit different for me in Chicago because it was at the Marriott. It was like right downtown by the water. And it was just it was a lot of chains and it was shiny. And I was like, I don't know if I want to see more. of like this city, because this is like the second or third, well, it's New York, LA, and then Chicago. It's the third biggest city in the whole United States. And I love the feel of it because it's so Midwest, but like Northern. I love that vibe.
I love Chicago.
Yeah. And I think I need you to just give me a tour next time I like literally have time.
Definitely. I live on the south side of Chicago. I born and raised in South Shore. I still live, so my home is in South Shore. I spent a little time after college. I moved up north to Uptown. Back on the south side. I love the south side because where else am I going to get some good Harold's chicken anytime Fiesta people? Okay?
Truly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. But Ed's left the room. He doesn't even.
He's like, I'm done with it. No, but I love playing a tour guide, and I was believe it.
Oh, hi.
Oh, we have guests.
Hi, dog.
Sorry, Riley had surgery and Blair is leaving to go be fabulous and famous somewhere. So I'm sitting here watching her while she recovers from her little stitchy situation. This poor baby.
Animals.
She's the best. We love her.
Yeah,
she'll be good. She'll just stay right there.
She's a tough bitch.
Oh, she's so cute. Oh, haven't I met?
Yeah.
Hi. I've definitely met, and she's like, no.
Mom, don't leave.
You're not supposed to drug her up.
Well, that's the problem too. My kitty cat has to get like just one tooth taken, and it's not serious. It's just like down the line. And it's hard to explain to them when they're on drugs. You're like, it's cool, like it's gonna be all right.
Watching her get drugged up at the ER was so funny. I just have to shoot that in her mouth.
Oh, okay. Like 3 or 4, and then that kind of.
Can you just text me the directions?
That kind of. What are you eating, David? I love what you're eating. Sorry, not to call you out. I just love food. I love hippies. It's one of my favorites because you're talking to a vegan lady 10 years now. Love those.
You're welcome. Bye.
They're my favorite. I just figured we were taking a segue. I just take a few handfuls of them.
That's fine. I feel like we're gonna edit this out, and then all of a sudden there's just gonna be a dog in the background.
Or keep it. I mean, we all need to know Riley's transition into the world.
Oh my God, this poor girl.
Speaking of drugged up dogs,
okay.
I don't know why this keeps on coming up on my YouTube feed, but do you know that in the wild, dogs seek out shrooms?
I didn't know.
Dogs like getting high. And
interesting.
They have found that since so many people have like edibles now, dogs will purposely eat the edibles to get high. On purpose.
Oh yeah. My friend Catherine's dog got into her purse and ate edibles. And like they were for the dog, because like to keep him calm. Because like when she goes away, he goes nuts. And for the neighbors of it all, like keep calm. But he ate the entire bag and just was like looped forever and a day. It was so
washed
funny.
Out with the bathwater. Just
anyway, continuing what we were talking about earlier. I'm so sorry for the interrupt.
You're good. I want to talk about these dogs these shrooms in the wild. That's really
Sarah, I will send you, because it was on Entertainment Tonight.
Okay.
It's so good. It is so fact that dogs like to get high.
Yeah. Because we know cats do.
Right.
Catnip fields. Catnip, hello. I love when farmers grow catnip just because it's such a weed and it just goes so fast. And then you go outside and they're like, yeah.
Oh yeah. When we were kids, I had cats growing up when we were kids, and like we would get the catnip and like put it on a plate, and they would roll around in it, and they would just be like,
you're like, oh,
it's insane. God. It was so funny.
It's just like a Gwen Stefani luxurious music video. They're like, luxury.
Can somebody please make like a montage of cats flipping out over catnip to that song?
Because so hard every night and day, and now we get to lay back. It's like that whole video is just her on catnip laying on some jewels.
Oh my God. We should replicate. Let's replicate.
Okay, done.
So can we talk about Gwen Stefani making hip hop music at that one time? She like what was going on?
Which time? What album were you talking about?
With the Harajuku Girls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just the appropriation of Gwen Stefani.
Yes.
It was pretty, it was pretty that.
I
And
know, but it was
so weird.
it was good stuff though.
It was
Like,
good,
was,
but
it was
it was
good.
very good. But looking back now, I'm like,
yeah. The thing that I have an issue with, and I think I had an issue with it then, but I didn't really know why or how to articulate it. I just felt weird about her like being followed around by a bunch of Harajuku girls.
like
That were
Asian
I
girls.
didn't understand it.
It was like her paid entourage. I'm like, oh, you hired people to like parade around.
So we made a joke. We saw her in concert, but it was a double concert with her and I think maybe Kanye West. Another didn't age really well. But anyway, so it was a double concert. It was a lot. But it was like during a good time. Anyway, she came out with her Harajuku girls. And I said, Daphne, watch out. She's coming for you next. Because my friend Daphne is Taiwanese. And we should always joke and say, Daphne would openly say, I hope I'm near the front so she steals me. And we were just like joking because it was like so up. So we knew it was not right. And we were like, this is wrong. And Daphne's just like making jokes to the gods about it. But I think looking back, we're like, was that our coping mechanism that it was weird?
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe. I think maybe, yeah.
But it was so good. Ugh, I don't know.
I know. From an art perspective, it's brilliant. From like an ethics section,
her first music
maybe.
video out the gate was her like Alice in Wonderland realness and Take a Chance, You Stupid
Oh my
Hoe.
God.
It's one of my
That
Oh.
Well, but also that music video is like 8 minutes long.
Yeah,
it's a movie.
But it's so good.
It's so good. I love
it's so good.
I remember being in high school being like, what is it was that it was Britney Spears in the Zone.
Oh my God, y'all are so young. I feel like I was already like ridden hard and hung up wet at this point. Like, that song came out and I was like, yeah, what of it?
Well, I love In the Zone because like Madonna's in there wearing her like gentleman's attire and she's like, hey Britney, say you wanna lose control. Come over. And she's just dancing on gentlemen. Yeah. She's just dancing on dudes, which is like being like Madonna about it. I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you.
So iconic. Like they don't
iconic.
Music.
Okay, well, I lied a little bit. Okay, so Love Angel Music Baby was 2004.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I was about to graduate high school, so I hadn't hit the hung up wet situation just yet.
I
was about to.
I was 5 and I was in the I was not born yet.
My parents let me listen to Gwen Stefani as a toddler.
They were like, Love Angel Music Baby, it better be good.
Love Angel Music Baby. See, it's music for babies.
What was that, David? What did you say?
Oh my God, Gwen Stefani, that's so vintage.
That's so vintage.
Oh my God. Yeah, but that album is about to be 20 years old.
Shut up. Why do you
I'm leaving. Bye. What the fuck? Like that's uncalled for. Mace.
I mean, what was it like this?
The mace.
Don't you mace me through
being a woman.
Yay. Well, what is it? But also, like, to make matters worse, like the middle of nowhere Hanson album is about to be 25.
Oh, that I believe, because that feels like,
is it 25? Hang on a minute.
That was like,
I'm gonna fact check myself in real time here.
Like that was like I awakened, you know what I mean? Like that was like,
okay, 1997.
Here we go around again.
So it's already 25 years old.
Great. I thought so. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
That album is epic. I was
barely verbal then, of course, and I couldn't even barely keep up. But from what I heard, it's a bop.
I was a little preteen, and I was obsessed with Taylor and his long hair. I loved him.
Yeah, well, that's the one you should be obsessed with. At least when I look back, I'm like, that probably was the one.
Yeah, but I think these days I'm kind of more like Isaac.
No, Taylor.
It was never Zach. I was never into Zach.
I always looked at Hanson like a joke. I was like,
but the thing is, like, yes, and I understand why, but when you look back at it, they were so good. Like that Middle of Nowhere album still stands.
No, it was like the most popular album for a while. Like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC like could never at the time. And
they
then
could never.
Dance was out first, and then they were like bye 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 bye, and then it was like, you know, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, and Backstreet Boys is superior, but
incorrect. Sorry. False.
No, absolutely correct. Their songs are better. But individually, not superior. I feel like individual members of NSYNC are better, but I think as a collective.
Their songs are
I
not
love
better.
you.
You are my fire. So much better. Backstreet's back, all right.
NSYNC is a better group. I'm sorry.
Yep.
No, Justin Timberlake is a better performer, but aside than anyone.
That Pop Odyssey tour.
Oh my God, I saw that tour.
So maybe
I went to that tour. It's on YouTube.
Educate yourself, sir.
Up my heart when I'm with you.
Go to YouTube.
The whole Celebrity album. The
Sarah
whole
just
Celebrity
maced herself.
No
She just maced herself. It's okay. Yeah,
I know
okay,
that album was sick. It was good.
Millennium Backstreet Boys literally was the best, the top song literally in that entire year. It beat everything. But anyway, that's fine.
It was.
Listen, we're all friends here. They're all literally like, who cares now? So you know what I mean?
Also, I follow Joey Fatone on Instagram, and it's my favorite thing ever because he was always the one for me.
He was always the one for me too, which
makes
Joey
Fatone
about a lot of things.
That just explains our whole friendship.
I was JC Chazé or Justin, you know.
And see that makes so much sense to me.
Yeah, because I'm a girl who was like, I don't want a dad to bang.
I do.
I do.
I didn't at the time.
Dad bod.
Right. Rewind to when I was 13 years old, and I was like, yes, Joey Fatone, bagging out.
Joey Fatone was always it for me. He always did it for me, babe.
I know. Why is this such a controversial opinion? I feel like if we would put this on like Twitter right now, there would be a frenzy. If I was like,
every poll I've read is Backstreet Boys are superior. So I'm sorry.
I mean,
Justin Timberlake beats all. See, that's the problem. He's like better. So it's like, to me, I accept that.
I'm going to throw something in the mix here that's going to be polarizing.
Okay.
98 Degrees.
What about them?
Nick Lachey, my God.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Nick Lachey and his brother.
Yeah. And that dumb meathead that was in the back all the time.
Oh, I don't remember who that was, but I do remember who that was. You know what I mean?
He was just like,
What is 98 Degrees? You're all I ever. No, that's insane.
No, that's insane.
Oh yeah. What was the 98 Degrees song that is good? Other than the Mulan one.
Oh my God, the Mulan one. LOL.
So
I actually don't know.
I'm true to your heart. You must be true
to your heart. Yeah, you're correct. His name was Jeff Timmons. Oh, weird. Okay, so Nick Lachey, Jeff Timmons, and Drew Lachey are all credited for vocals, but Justin Jeffrey is not credited at all.
He went like this.
Also, if you look at them, if you look at the images of them that pop up, no offense to Justin, but
not age well. No,
he looks
like a poodle.
He looks like a dad, you know. The other guy that's not a Lachey is still hot as fuck.
Oh, you're talking about that. Okay,
I'm on their website right now.
Oh, you're talking about 90 Degrees. Okay,
yeah. Sorry, not Justin Timberlake. Okay, but they went to
Justin Timberlake. The only thing I didn't like about Justin was he had like poodle hair. That was the only thing like later I didn't really like. But JC Chazé gave it, but then JC did his own song, his own album, and it was so try hard it hurt me. It was like Some Girls Dance with Women, and it's like just stop. It's not for you.
That song was so terrible.
It's not for you, bro. Some girls dance with women.
Oh wait, okay, so here wait.
And you're like, they don't.
Here's the 98 Degrees of it all. So 97 Invisible Man was their breakout, which is weird to lead with a ballad, but okay.
I don't even know what that is.
Baby, to you, all I am is the invisible man.
I barely know. I don't really know what that is.
So good. Anyway, then they went on tour with Janet Jackson and a bunch of other people.
Okay.
They did the True to Your Heart situation with Disney and Mulan.
That was that situation I knew, yeah.
They did okay.
I remember him and Jessica. Like that's what I know is like them being
right. And then they had the Revelation album, which was Thank God I Found You, with Mariah Carey and Joe. And then Give Me Just One Night, Una Noche, when they were trying to be Latin. And My Everything. Oh, I remember that song. That was
My Everything. I think I remember.
Yeah, I used to sing the shit out of that in my living room as a teenager because I loved it. It was so good. And then they did a reunion tour and Let It Snow.
Right. Yeah. You know what Christmas album is really good? The Hanson one.
Truly.
Not gonna lie.
Hanson has it.
Yes,
they do.
My family played it for years. Every year, it's a bop, and I swear to God, I'll stand by that.
Truly, I would love nothing more than to create a separate podcast where we only ever talk about 90s and early 2000s like pop culture and music.
Oh,
I could
my
talk
God.
about
How would
it
it sound? How
forever.
would it sound?
Same. We have to do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Done.
We can call it Popped.
Nice.
I like that.
So
I said, because I could do this all day. Like instead of doing homework, I would watch VH1 Behind the Music or the Making the Video.
Or
Making the
pop-up
video, pop-up video, and like
Wait a
what
minute,
got,
wait a minute. You
but
think
like
you know
also
my life? Wait,
on
wait.
subject.
Wait.
You think you know my life? You have no idea. This is the diary of Britney Spears.
Oh
my God.
Yeah, you think you know my life. This is Lucky.
Oh my God.
This is Diane.
No, but more on subject.
Okay, sorry.
Behind the Music, but the Making the Video is what really got me into like creating TV. It was like seeing how it was made, and even though it was a music video, it was still like, oh, it like I had this moment where I was like, oh, this is probably also similar to how television is made.
Yeah.
And they showed you the making of it, and like the edit, and then the thing, and then the thing, and then
you saw it all come together.
Yeah, you would see the final product. And the one that sticks out to me is Christina Aguilera, Come On Over, Baby.
Oh,
yes.
Such a good one.
Mine's Britney Spears Toxic. I mean, it's
yes.
Did they do a making of the video there?
Yeah, they showed the behind the scenes, and she's like, yeah, dun, 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 when she's in the stewardess outfit, and like how many times they had to do that, and the guy that was there with her, she's like, he's hot, y'all.
Oh, I remember. Yes.
And she was like, also, that man is hot.
She broke the suction cup when she's like climbing up the wall. She broke the suction cup. What else? And she had Tyson Beckford in the.
Oh, I remember Tyson Beckford. Oh God, he was such a hot boy. Also, I think I'm having a faint memory of them doing Oops, I Did It Again too, with like the red rubber suit. And when you see that without the music playing, it's just like squeaking. It's so funny.
Britney Spears is the one artist that had the most making of the videos. She did Oops, Lucky. I think she did Stronger.
Yeah.
They didn't do one for. Did they do one for Slave for You? They definitely did one for Toxic.
Stronger. Oh my God, y'all, with the chair, just her in a chair, giving it. And they did one for Me Against the Music, which was around, and the Me Against the Music making of the video was was like her promo for the Onyx Hotel tour, which was the Sighting in the Zone tour. Yes.
And I think, me personally, I think in this the Onyx Hotel was her best tour ever. Me personally,
I agree, but her best album, in my opinion, Blackout.
See,
it's the trashiest. It's the best. It's Give Me More. Give me. It's got that. It's got Toy Soldier. It's got Break the Ice.
Toy Soldier is so good. Not everybody knows about Toy Soldier.
Oh my God, you guys! I didn't realize this, but VH1 Making the Video had 14 seasons.
Of course it did.
Yeah. That is wild. How long did that run? 2006.
Well, that runs in like MTV Cribs.
It was MTV, not VH1, friend. Making the Video was MTV.
Oh, you're right. Oh my God, why did
VH1 was Behind the Music.
You're right.
But yeah, MTV Cribs is the same thing. Like, I love, one of my favorite moments was watching MTV Cribs and then seeing like Mariah Carey in 5 costume changes, and then seeing Redman from the Wu-Tang Clan live in literally a 1-story ranch here in Staten Island, and be like, yeah, this is where like this stuff happens, and it's like a dirty dining room. Like, this guy is amazing. Like, he is living his best life. He doesn't give a fuck. It's so beautiful.
Also to tie this in, 98 Degrees was the premiere episode of Making the Video.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, 1999. I Do Cherish You, first episode.
I do cherish you. It wasn't Jessica in that? Was Jessica in that song?
I think so. I don't know. But then it was Britney. Britney was second with You Drive Me Crazy.
Well, now that we've gone on a tangent of 90s pop culture realness, and I've
I'll just edit this out and put it in our next one.
I love this. I don't know how long we've been recording at all.
Roughly about 2 hours.
Oh my God. I need a timer or something, because I can't see what time it is. I'm so sorry. We go on tangents.
No, we do. It's fine. Let's wrap with something fun.
Okay,
and then I'll make magic with editing.
David, you've been a glowing person since I've met you. I'm so happy to see your face. I'm so happy to hear that you're working, that you're embracing the technology of the self-tape, that you're asking for your worth, that you're traveling about town, that your Chicago Chi-Town realness is going down, and you're also in New York sometimes. Like, everything you're doing is making you a rich bitch. You're on your way. I'm so excited for you. And I'm excited to watch your Tony Awards that were like during lockdown. I am.
Well, I'll send it to you.
You should. I think you're amazing. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for doing this. And yeah, get the bag.
Put the money on the table.
I love you both.
I love you.
So glad to have been your guest. Please have me back again.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and fuck it up.
You don't have a choice, bitch. We'll have you back, of course.
Yeah. You're pretty much. You're probably next door right now. You're probably going to come out of this.
Well, actually,
you don't want me back.
I would like to procure the bag.
I wanna be a rich bitch. Penthouse doorman, money, 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 rich bitch. Hey, give me that bag. Rich bitch.
You're so rich.
Pay me.